Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make welcome David D. with the Elvis Tribute.
See here, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Well, I said, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Now, girl, you made me love you, but now you look when it's gone. Hear what I say? Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find you a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say, play me. Yeah. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Yeah, what I say? Well, I said, see she right up. Oh, see what you have done. Well, I said, see she right up. Oh, see what you have done. Well, girl, you made me love you. Now, your woman is gone. Hear what I say? Well, I say, see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is yet another episode of Rogan Radio here in the soon-to-be vacant and new bedroom of, I believe, Mia
Margarita.
Of Mia.
Mia Margarita. I always want to say Margarita after I say Mia.
Studio A in the lovely confines of Castle Rogan in Lumberport.
Don't worry about Todd. Okay. Cut him off. Yeah. Mia Margarita.
Mia.
That's like when I say...
you were saying Maya a minute ago.
Was I?
Say it. Say it the way you want. I don't think she cares.
Mia?
Maya. Call her. Listen. It's
Mia. Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia Margarita.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you. It's Sunday, and it's nice outside, and we are on a kind of like sort of a nostalgia trip tonight, because this quite possibly could be the last broadcast we do in this room as we know it. All the memories that we've had snakes come out.
Yeah.
We've had
penises. We've had penises
We've had
come
rubber
out.
penises.
We've
had gagging. We've had gagging in here
Lots of gagging
From the rubber penises.
Well, no, not.
We've had my haircut in here. What else?
Yeah, right over there.
Bruce has sang in here. Tim has been in here. Where's John Starkey at tonight?
That's what I just asked him. Said, "Where's John Starkey?"
Think of all the guests we've had in here.
Well, there's
Mariah? Is my daughter on? Mariah? I think my Mariah.
I think
Listen,
Tim was talking.
she is. You know what?
on.
After even though all these guests,
Wait a minute. Hold on for a second.
No, my daughter Mariah, not Mia.
No, Tim was talking.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
care.
Sorry, Tim. I got carried away.
No, it's fine.
This is
It's
Beck
fine.
Radio. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This Sunday, starting at 7 p.m. on Facebook, it's the one and the only Captain Earl Todd Beck with his show. Damn the torpedoes. Damn everybody else. I'm waiting for music so we can do something together here, but nothing's happening. He rides a bike. He looks like Fonzie. Sometimes he comes to work with his zipper down. 47 years old. The brother to Jesse Beck in Ohio, who's doing a lot better. Yeah. The lovely father of 3 lovely ladies and a beautiful wife named Vicki McDeck from Lumberport, West Virginia. For all the zany action every Sunday night, call Ticketmaster at the Mellon Arena, 625-712-7561-2329. It's Todd Beck Radio.
Woo! That was a lot of love.
Well, you know what? I was just finally. I'm almost out of it there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
almost out of it too. That wore me out. Just
Good job,
doing that.
Todd. Good
I know.
job.
Thanks, Bruce.
Hey, by the way, Mariah was on there, and you know what? She's one of the. I've always called them this since they were little kids. The Beck ladies.
Yeah,
I love the Beck ladies. Absolutely love the Beck ladies. Tonight, here's what we talk about. We talk about the Rain Fest known as Mountain Fest. Chad Puccio was up there.
Yep.
We have a big thing coming up with Tim. Tim's from Real Shoot Wrestling. If you can check him out on Facebook. There's a big event coming down in Pleasant Valley. You're going to have a big wrestling event down there. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what you guys do over at Real Shoot Wrestling. Yeah. And I guess Jimmy's going to say something next.
Maybe. I just wanted to get this out before the comments keep coming, so they go down and then you forget about them.
Right.
Anthony Morgan said, remember, Todd wore the Hello Kitty underwear in here, too.
I did wear the Hello Kitty. I wore them over the pants, though. I didn't wear them under the pants.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah,
it's
you
a
did.
PG
I'm glad I
shirt.
missed that one.
You know, he danced right on the chair and everything.
Stood up,
Yeah.
pulled them up, maybe even played some
But
kind
you
of
know
a...
what? Soon it's all going to go away.
It all
from in
goes
here.
away. Memories.
Oh, the way it was.
The way. Remember when it was just the three of us?
Boy.
Oh, no, that was good, Jim. It was just the three of
It was
us in
just
our
a-
one little black table.
Just the three of us.
We
We can make it if we try.
See, as
Just
you can tell,
the
everybody's.
three of us.
Now, next week, we're not going to be
Me,
here.
you, and I.
Next week.
Me, you, and I. You, him, and
me, you,
I.
and I.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a hell of a threesome right
Thanks
there.
for coming,
Mariah,
Jim.
Mariah,
Thanks for coming, Jim.
Mariah said, I suddenly remember why I don't watch this podcast.
Oh, Mariah. Come on.
Way to go, Mariah. Oh, and we don't want to forget, once again, it's Todd Beck Radio with a lovely sister-in-law in Ohio, married to his twin brother Jesse, Angie Beck. Yeah. Angie, she has chickens in her backyard. She has a man who has a broken leg with infections sometimes.
Bunch of chickens in the backyard and one big cock in the house.
Whoa! It's Angie Beck from Ohio. You can get all her information on Ticketmaster at the Mellon Arena at 654-212-571-824-629.
Yay! You
This
can buy
Saturday.
You can buy the whole seat. Oh, how's that go, Jim?
You can buy the whole seat, but you only use the edge.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
funny.
man, that's
Kind of screwed that one up,
Jim?
Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure did.
Hey, want to say hi to people like Cassie Allen listening
Hello,
today.
Cassie.
We've got Jesse's actually listening, your brother.
Yes, thank you.
Who else we got on
I
here?
saw Elizabeth on there.
Elizabeth's on here.
Jelly's on here.
Oh.
I wish I had Jesse's
Jelly,
girl.
hello, Cass. I
I
saw Ducko was on there.
Jesse.
Parker Fulton's on here.
Parker, what's up? We're going to talk about
Parker
Parker.
lose,
here.
can't lose. What?
We're going to talk about Parker. Digger's on here, too. That's
Digger.
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 Marcy
Digger.
Bland. Hello, Marcy. And,
Oh,
of course, Donnie Everett. Now, one thing that you know, one thing what's really cool about the show is that we kind of screw off a lot from time to time. But if you watch Bartender Mike and Donnie Everett in the comment section, you're going to see some genius stuff. They're hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious. Speaking of that, let's call up Bartender Mike. Bartender Mike, along with D-Mac, we're going to do introductions here in a minute because a lot of us, Tim, it's been a little bit over a year. It's almost been a year since you almost...
Yeah, because SummerSlam was coming up, and we were talking about Brock and Randy Orton, and then that match ended up being, like a whole 90 seconds.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
All right.
you leave
Because he,
sex like that is
busted, he busted his head open or something.
Now listen, this is something else I'd like to talk to you about here in a little bit when it comes to Conor McGregor and Mayweather. I don't know if you have an opinion on that. Do you have an opinion?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're going to get into that.
Oh, listen, real quick. Did you see that picture they put online today? But McGregor wore that jersey.
Of the MB player that had sex with Mayweather's wife.
Oh man, I love Conor McGregor. Call him up. Call up Bartender
Call
Mike.
up McGregor real quick.
He's in Atlantic City right now, huh?
What am I searching under here?
Mike Eusted.
Bartender Mike.
No, I mean, okay, is he under your... Never mind, hold on. I think I got
Just give him a call, Jimmy.
Talk right to that microphone. Talk
You know
right
what?
to that microphone, Jim.
This is like this is probably a good reason that we're getting out of this room. Okay, let's see if Bartender Mike calls because we have a lot of bad karma. We have this big new studio coming, and we have it's getting settled. It's going to get leveled here pretty soon. It sounds like Spock. I think Khan is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sounds like
Brian Morton. Hello,
sounds like
Brian
old
Morton.
Aquaman.
Brian's going to Cedar. Listen, freaking Brian Morton's going to Cedar Point.
That guy's always going somewhere.
Yeah, he is.
Lori Fonte.
Hello, Lori.
Lori. Hello, Lori.
We're going to see if Mike Husted, we're going to get a beach report. Because Derek McIntyre, the reason you don't see D-Mac tonight is he's down at the beach also. Everybody's going to the beach.
Hey, John's on there now.
Yeah, we saw John. What's up, John?
Do we say hi to Marcy?
Lori wants to know if we miss her. What I do miss is Todd reading her books.
Well, listen, that was kind of cool, wasn't it?
That was it.
That's it.
You know him. You see, we called somebody last week, namely Brian Morton, to wish him a happy birthday, even though it was his 4th birthday of the year. Mm-hmm. And then we call, but it goes to that same thing. And then all of a sudden we call, bartender Mike, who's always there, but he's enjoying himself with his family at the beach. And you know what? He ignores us too.
I know.
You'd
think they would have that phone on their hip just in case Rogan Radio called.
Everybody should be waiting for us.
They should be.
Anyway, let's go around the room really quick because we started this last week and we never did finish it. We want to say hi to Alexander in Russia. Hello, Alexander.
You think he's listening?
In Russia.
Yeah,
How do you
absolutely.
say hello in Russian.
Hello.
That's what we should do.
Comrade.
No, I can pull that up for you.
Hi.
I can get some Russian stuff up here, bro.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sitting over in the director's
No
chair, he is the absolute godfather of the show. We like to say that he had some cadaver dicks put in him there a couple weeks ago to make his neck feel better, to stiffen up his neck a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, from Shinson/Lumberport/Parts of Known, we like to call him D, his real name being Darren Hardman. Give a big round of applause for the Darren Hardman over there. Yeah. Hello, Kelly. Now, Janet Eusted's on there. Hello, Janet. Yeah, see, that's probably why. If they're driving home, they're probably in their dead zone. The next guy he is the Rainfest Mountain Fest goer. He is the costume designer. Now, all of a sudden, he's turned into an interior decorator. Did you get to see what Chad got, the new sign that we got?
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
It absolutely is amazing. And you'll see that when we do the unveiling in the new studio, it's going to be a completely revamped look. It's going to be more cool, more fashionable, more hip. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Monongah, give a bigger round of applause to Chad. Thank
you very much.
That would look good over a bar.
That's what everybody's saying that. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Maybe on the other side, like the green room sign, we could put a bar over there.
Maybe we'll do that.
To the uptake.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Like a guest bar. I mean,
Well, is anybody else having trouble hearing everybody? Or am I?
I can hear fine.
I can hear fine.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure because I have stuff in my ears. It's pollen. It's pollen.
I know.
See everybody quick in here. So say what?
Everything sounds good.
Can you understand what I'm saying?
That reminds me of the old guy in Christmas Vacation. Remember when they were he was announcing when he was going to plug the lights in? They're like, drum roll, please, and then old guy's like,
That's funny stuff. Now, from Real Shoot Wrestling, Tim Cross is here. There's a big event going to happen in Fairmont, a big wrestling event, which is going to be extremely interesting. And you can check them out. If you could put a link up to Real Shoot Wrestling on Facebook, it's awesome.
How was midget wrestling?
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute, but that was Brucey down in Salem.
Right.
And Tim, we're going to get right into the action, and we're going to find out all of this big stuff because it's going to be awesome. And it's going to actually be next weekend?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want me to tell you where you live? We're just going to say, hey, from Real Shoot Wrestling, give a big round of applause over to Tim Cross. Yeah. All right. Now, the other guy, hello, Kelly Underwood. The other guy sitting across the thing, he was once a stripper in Japan. He was also a bouncer in a bar. He was the 2012 Concho champion. Now, if you remember right, when it comes to Concho,
you know what? A lot of people start doing that in Salem area now.
they stick each other in the butt. That's what I'm
I want
saying.
to be like Bruce.
Well, every
Stick
time,
my fingers in
every
butts.
time I'm bending down something, I get one.
Wow.
Hey, listen, hey Bruce, I just dropped my pen. Can you get that?
Hey, ask Todd to help you out.
Now you went down to last Thursday night.
Yeah,
we decided to say little people wrestling.
They're called midget wrestling federations. That's what they call.
They use the word midget.
Hey,
Yeah,
they're
they
calling
do.
themselves midget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
again, that doesn't mean because there's other races and things that call themselves things that we can't say it.
Really? Oh.
Anyway, off of that. So you had a pretty good crowd down there at the Riviera, right?
Yeah, that's about 130 people.
130 people down there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Pull that microphone just up just a hair. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
130 people.
130 people down there,
Yeah.
and it was you had it. I mean, it was fun. It was good. It was a good
There
show.
were really 130 people?
How about that down at
here's the
Riviera
thing,
in Salem?
There were a total of 5 wrestlers, and of course there's always bad guys and good guys.
Yeah.
And two of them are, bad guys, and 3 of them are good guys. They kind of, team up.
Sure.
Then last game was, of course, tag matches against the good and bad guys.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
how it
but
was.
I want to know, Bruce, who was the blonde? Who was the little blonde in there?
Did they
Oh,
have
she was like a
referee?
Yeah.
little blonde.
Well, she was very short. She was very
Did
short.
they have? How about the
little
ring
person?
girls?
They have no one.
Oh, see, I figured that would have been perfect for Bruce. Bruce would have went up there in like a little wrestling outfit, and you could have been the ring guy.
I don't know about that, but
I think it would. And then you could accidentally drop the number.
Well, you got to
got the
remember
contract.
those wrestlers.
You could have dressed
they
up
can
as like
kick my
anime.
butt in there.
You
Oh,
did
I
like
guarantee it. Yeah, absolutely.
Dressed up in anime.
And
That's your stuff.
he could be a Power Ranger. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Tokyo, Japan, give a big round of applause for our very own Bruce Takahashi.
Hi, konbanwa.
Yeah. And he's the soundboard operator from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a safety captain in a local mine. Actually, you've been floating around all over the state now because things seem to be going online right now. And I just saw we were driving out somewhere, and I saw what is that Robinson Run out here, Darren?
Yes.
Man, they have a mountain of coal like you would not believe. I mean, that thing is ginormous. One that I've never seen like that.
They're
a lot of
moving
coal.
coal like crazy,
That's
too.
a lot of cool.
lot of coal.
But he's a beatboxer. You know what we haven't done for a long time? You know what?
Beatboxing?
Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that in a minute.
Oh, everybody adds a sound in. Remember that?
Jimmy is a beatboxer from way back when, if you remember right. Let's see. I'm going to do a drum riff. Talk about something, Todd, real quick.
Okay,
Todd,
Todd, thanks.
Jimmy, can you give us a little bit of beatboxing right now? Just give me. If I throw something down, you'll throw something right on top of it, real quick.
I could try.
Okay, it goes like this. Go like
I'm
this.
not like a rhythm
No, that's a,
extraordinaire.
okay. Real sorry.
Okay, do it to this. Do it to this instead. Do it to this instead.
I
We're going
like-
to see how this works.
I like mine.
No,
really
let's
well.
see. We're going to go ahead and do our little thing. Let's see if it works. Jimmy was a beatboxer way back, and we haven't done this, so we're just going back. We're just
Oh,
going back
my
and doing
goodness.
everything that we used to do.
Oh, this is fun. Yeah.
Now, the whole thing, Tim, here's what you need to do. You need to get on here and you need to make a sound. Like, I'll make a sound, Jimmy will beatbox, and we just do different things.
They need to do words to this.
Da-da-da. But anyway, Jimmy, ladies and gentlemen, straight from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the soundboard operator tonight and the beatboxer. Give a big round of applause for Jimmy Wiz.
There's a lot of heart, lot of
Jimmy
heart
Wiz.
emojis.
It's
going
great
over
jumping
right
in there,
there.
Darren. Heard
Yeah,
you loud and
good
clear.
job.
Well, you know, I've also noticed.
Couldn't hear me.
I've also noticed that one person that's never added anything was Brucey. From all the times that we have done this, Bruce sits over there like, man, listen, I could be doing something else. I
You know what?
could really.
You Americans are-
I was.
Silly Americans.
While you guys doing a beatbox, I would have bring my little drum machines and then try to.
See,
do the
no,
same
you
thing.
found the keyboard.
No, well, yeah, I do have a keyboard, but I need to get back and learn how to operate all because they're like 20, 30 buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to learn all those operations.
Yeah.
My
We need to
wife
do
thinks
that.
we did a good job.
We
Yeah.
can have a segment. Brucey.
Learning
I-
how to play keyboard.
No, I can just put the sound effect between the conversations.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Basically take Jimmy's job, and that's great.
That'd be great.
Jimmy out.
I got a lot of stuff to do.
Bye,
Jimmy
Jim.
out.
See you, Jim. Nice work.
And the
on you.
next guy is the best friend a guy could have. There's going to be the best man at the wedding. You're the father of 3 beautiful chicks.
I am. I am.
You have a brother and Angie over in Ohio, along with your mom and dad. Everybody's doing good, and of
Everyone's
course
doing
you
good.
have Vicky McBeck
Yeah, she's doing real good too.
and your grandma.
We had a date today too. Oh yeah,
You went to go see Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, she took me out for my birthday.
She took you out?
Well, you know what? It's always good when your wife takes you out about a month after your birthday.
or 2. Yeah. Yeah, we went to see Planet of the Apes. We went and got something to
She's
eat.
still
Went and
thinking of
shopped a
you.
little bit. My daughter's up at JCPenney. She works up there now. We went around, walked up. We had a good time. We had a great day. It was date day.
Now, how'd you
was Date Day.
How'd you like Planet of the Apes?
It was. I encourage you to watch it.
It's really good.
Have you seen the first two?
I saw the one with Marky Mark.
Did you feel a lot more connected with the apes or the humans? Just someone like you.
Ladies and gentlemen from Livermore, West Virginia, give a big round of applause for Captain Earl Beck. Yeah. Hello, Pam Kirby. Hello.
It was a good movie, though. Go watch it. Chad, you're a big movie guy.
Absolutely. I didn't go watch it yet. I'm going to, but I got the other two that you were talking about.
You have those at the house, huh?
I have those at the house.
I figured
already.
you did, yeah. They're
Dawn
good.
and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep. Well, you'll like this one.
This one's War, right?
Yes, War. Yeah.
Now, Michelle and I last night, we started watching that latest Mummy movie with Tom Cruise.
I watched it. Is that good?
You know what? It's not bad, is it?
I liked it.
I did too, actually.
Cool.
I actually did too. Yeah.
It was different.
It was, but we haven't finished it yet because, of course, it was 2:00 in the morning and we were eating one of those Sasquatch pizzas from Walmart. Have you ever seen them things?
Yeah,
3 pounds of pizza
At 2 a.m.?
Listen, what happened is that we were working our asses off in this house cleaning everything up because the girls are getting ready to, in the next week or two, this place is going to be, basically I'm giving the keys to them for the most part. And so everything in here has to go outside. But anyway, in the process, we're cycling through everything. So we go ahead and decided yesterday about 6 o'clock, look, I am beat because I had to work because Chad was at Mountain Fest. He was at Rain Fest this year. So I went ahead. I said, let's go ahead and take a quick nap. We'll get up at 7 o'clock and then we'll go out to eat because she really did a lot of work yesterday. I said, I'll do you one. You know, I owe you that. And plus, we haven't really went out to eat, and I like to see you dressed up and stuff, so we'll go out to eat.
Sure.
So I said, Alexa, set an alarm for 7 o'clock. Well, it must have went off, I guess. Now, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, Alexa won't stop, and I have to sit up and scream, and she won't listen to me. I say, Alexa. Yesterday at 7 o'clock was completely different. Didn't even hear it go off for whatever reason.
Is that what happened to you the other morning?
When I came to
You came to work 19 minutes after you were supposed. No, you woke up 19 minutes after you were supposed.
Listen, I was supposed to be at work at 4 a.m. I woke up at 4:19, and I was still laying in bed, and I was like, oh, shit. I got to go to work.
Was that Friday?
That was Friday.
Where's Chad Pucci?
Yeah.
Oh, you were at Mountain Fest.
Off for Mountain Fest.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why.
No. It was last Saturday because you came in late, too.
Or was it Cromedy? What is up with you guys?
Last Saturday, I woke up. It was 10 minutes after.
You did it last
5.
week, and I did it this week.
You did it this week.
Yeah.
No repercussion for that.
So anyway, the point of the story was last night. It was Michelle. She wakes up and she goes, "Oh my God, it's 10 o'clock!" And I'm thinking, you know, because I just fell asleep and didn't get home or didn't get to work till I was like, "Whoa, 10 o'clock! What? You know what I mean? Like, what? What do you?" And then
10 a.m., 10 p.m.
Then I realized that we slept 4 hours instead of 1 hour. So it's like, okay, look, we're just going to get up. We'll go get something to eat. And she goes, Chuck, where are we going to go get something to eat at? I said, I know, Walmart, because Walmart's always open.
Yeah.
Satan store.
So we go to Walmart.
Hours a day.
We go to Walmart. The most bizarre thing, I've never seen anybody actually escorted out of Walmart with totes and everything else. They had like this. She was living in Walmart somewhere, and they had 3 officers from Clarksburg pushing her out of the store. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. But anyway, so we were looking through the pizza aisle because we love frozen pizza, and we see this new one that I've never seen called Sasquatch. 3 pounds for $9.99, guaranteed to give you a heart attack. It's good stuff. So we come home, start the Mummy, put the pizza in there, and eat this thing, and listen, it's 3 pounds of pizza. And it's good. It was really good. And we went to bed about 2:30 or something like that.
With all is it like a thin crust with a bunch of toppings, or like a big thick crust?
It's very much half and half. It's very much split between a lot of toppings. You know, you get basically 2 pounds crust, 1 pound pepperoni. But, you know, 1 pound of pepperoni will make you sick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you have cheese and everything else like that.
I love a good pizza.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, who even cares?
So the Mummy was decent. I watched The Circle yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
with
Tom Hanks.
Oh, you know, where they watch everything.
Oh, was it good?
Girl. It was different than what I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
You know, it was decent, but it was a lot different. It focused more on, it wasn't, like, I thought the whole movie was going to be about, you know, her running from them, kind of like that one movie with, what's that dork's name? Shia LaBeouf or whatever. Yeah, where, you know, they're watching him do everything and they're chasing her down or whatever, but it wasn't like that at all. Yeah.
Tell us how it ended.
Well, what happened was.
No doubt, right? No doubt.
And my brother just saw Spider-Man yesterday. Have you seen that?
I heard
I haven't seen that one, but I just watched the last night Transformers movie yesterday.
Okay, I haven't seen that either.
I watched it.
But
I
they
like
say Spider-Man's getting like in 92, 93, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. All of them. The War for Planet of the Apes is in the 90s. There's a bunch of good movies out right now.
So was Transformers good, the latest one?
I thought so.
I actually thought it was pretty good.
I still haven't watched Aliens yet. But anyway, that's not why we're here right now.
Oh,
I'm trying to hold
podcast
out.
about
I'm trying to hold out because it comes out on August 15th.
Yeah.
And I've got some vacation time at the end of August there. I'm trying to hold out, watch that on my vacation time.
Because you can watch it right now.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys got your assessor forms yet? Now, how do they do it in Marion County?
Yeah, I got mine.
Okay,
Yeah,
do they send them all? Okay, so we got the it's great how they do this. The counties, they send out your assessor form to let you know you have to what you have to report to get taxed on, and then it's like 2 days later you actually get the tax bill from the day before.
I got mine too. I thought.
So listen, you know what? I have a great question for you, and I think it's unfair, and I think we should riot. I think we absolutely should riot. But before that, I say we make them dance.
Oh, everybody knows how to make them dance. Get on your keyboard there and hit all your emojis. We like the hearts, because that means love.
We love the hearts.
Yeah, that means love.
I've got a great question, though, because I was looking over this assessor form, and I'm like, there's certain things that you have to claim, and there's certain things that you don't have to claim, but everybody owns at the same time. And I'm thinking, well, why are they biased towards one thing and not the other?
Yeah.
And you'll see why, what I'm talking about. We're making them dance, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we have Tim Cross from Real Shoot Wrestling in here. We want to say hi to everybody at Obsidian's brand new bar there in Fairmont. That's on Pleasant Valley Road, too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Pleasant Valley Road. I saw the address down
Right
here.
here at 1206 Pleasant Valley Road. 1206 Pleasant Valley Road.
We're getting ready for the big move. We're taking Studio A out into a new building outside. We'd like to say hello to KDS Criminal Sign Shirts and More. You can go ahead and give them a call for all your apparel at 366-1234. That's KDS Criminal Sign Shirts and More in Fairmont. Yeah!
I want to say hi to Crystal Lewis. Crystal Lewis is on.
D-Max at the beach.
Mia is on. She actually supports the show. That's great.
Mia just said, "That's my room."
I know, that's what I'm saying. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to trash this place. The last day we're in here, we're going to be like a bunch of renters. And we're going to trash this place.
My nose and wipe it on the wall.
Yeah. Do it.
I'm going to mark my territory. In that corner?
Yeah.
That corner? That corner?
We're just going to do it.
I think we should.
I don't know who owns this joint, but you know what? Too bad. But anyway, here's the question that I have for you. I got this assessor form and everything. And I'm looking through here, and one thing that I've noticed is that you have to pay tax if you have a dog. You get your little dog tax.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Or, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
No,
I'm thinking,
you don't have to pay tax on cats, right?
but you don't have to on cats.
No. Yeah.
Now, why the hell is that? You have to pay a tax on a dog, but you don't on a cat. And most of the
Yeah.
you don't discriminate yourself. But but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, well, the nice thing about the dog owner is that it's probably the fun, like the dog catcher and stuff like that. But most people that have dogs, they're not running all over like cats pissing and stuff in your mulch and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking the more, I don't want to say, I better not say this because Michelle has a cat. I don't want to say, you can't really, dog owners really don't let their dogs go running like cat people do. You see cats, I like cat women and everything. I like cat, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm thinking, why do you have to pay a tax on a dog?
I think it's a liability issue and an accident.
I think that's what it is too, because you've never heard someone call the dog catcher to come get a cat, so they have to come get the dog. So somebody's got to pay for that.
But my whole thing is, well, what about a
cat catcher?
Maybe it's because
what about a snake?
Maybe it's because of dog bites and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is. Dog bites.
Or maybe it's because they just want to get money and it's just an easy way. And a cat that can go roaming through the street, you really can't tell whose it is. It's like, that's not my cat.
Yeah,
or a dog, if a dog's barking in your yard, they can trace it right back to you.
Yeah.
And they can say, that's your dog. Why aren't you paying tax on it? Or if not, we're going to take your dog and we're going to kill it.
Yeah, or we're going to take your dog, charge you a big fine. You got a dog, Jim?
Yeah, Jimmy's got a dog.
Yes, you do.
I don't have a dog.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, we have Tim Cross in here from Real Shoot Wrestling. And Tim, you have a big event coming up on next Saturday, July 29th, where you're going to have this monster wrestling event. But first of all, monsters. It's going to be great. Godzilla's going to be there. The Ultraman's going to be there. Mothra's going to be there. King Kong's going to be there.
My goodness.
But anyway, tell us first of all, to give people a recap that maybe weren't listening last time, what exactly is Real Shoot Wrestling?
Real Shoot Wrestling is just it was a group created on Facebook with a couple of friends that just like talking about wrestling, and it's just grown since then. And there was a couple of different ideas of what we wanted to do with it when it as it grew, and pretty much we got to the point to where I originally wanted the group to be now with these shows. And some people that have came on and helped with the group now are getting ready to do some YouTube video stuff, with,
Right.
like green screens and like that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
like those
yeah,
video
yeah.
bite stuff, and so we're trying to expand and do some more stuff as we grow.
Because, I mean, it's going to be like an all-encompassing kind of
It's
thing.
pretty much just talk about wrestling as a whole, like pro wrestling, not just
right.
just the stuff you see on
And at the
TV.
same time, you're getting into promotion now, which is going to be really cool because when you talk about it, you know what you're talking about, and then somehow you can get the inside track, which is going to help you by promoting things. So you're kind of because you're going to Connecticut. It seems like all the time. Every other weekend, it seems like you're in Connecticut.
Yeah,
It does.
I'm actually back in there in September. But yeah, I've been going to a lot of wrestling shows up there because there's just stuff up there that you're not going to get to see down here, and there's things like being a fan like that. With my mother living up there, I can go up there, get
Right.
to see those things, and then just stay there.
The Northeast is
So
big.
it's usually it's like kill two birds with one stone. Kind
And
of
you know,
thing.
it seems like the Northeast is kind of big for wrestling,
Very.
as the South is. Now, is there if you were going to compare the two between the Northeast and the South? What's the different flavor there? What would be a different feel if you were going to go?
This is pretty simple. There's the whole spectacle of the situation, and that is pretty much PA and up.
Right.
And then there's the old school pro wrestling technical part of it that is pretty much West Virginia and down
So
south.
a lot of the Flash is up north, and then
Pretty much the sports entertainment happens.
that's probably why WWE's up there.
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, you're saying northbound, you're looking at all show, and southbound, you're talking about all go.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's both in those categories, but more often than not, up north, if you have a look and not really 100% the technique, you're still going to go far because you have the look.
Right. If you could talk on a microphone, whereas you could be say a very technical, flashy, so to speak, as far as moves go, wrestler in the South. But if you can't talk, or if you can't play to the crowd so much, it's not going to get you anywhere.
I mean, it's just like being an actor. If you can only do one thing, you're going to get kind of pigeoned into that one thing, and then that's all you'll do.
Right. Right.
But if you're well-rounded, you can go anywhere. You can go down south and then go out there and put on a 5-star classic technical match. But if you also know what you're just flat out doing, you can go up north and put on an entertaining show.
Well, because, I mean, wrestling is, I mean, if you want to go, I mean, and we'll say TV, that's where everybody wants to be, just because that's where your most glory is going to be. Not saying it's going to be in your heart. I mean, it's not going to, if you're a diehard wrestling fan, you really don't necessarily care about TV because you realize that they've lost their roots maybe a long, long time ago. But as far as being a cocky and money and everything else, that's where it's going to be. But, that is how, I wonder how much, like, when it comes to the Flash stuff, okay, like, and I'm not going to say The Rock's name, but I'm just going to use The Rock because he's good at talking, he's good at energizing the crowd, or Steve Austin or whatever. I wonder how much background do they actually have? I mean, how much work did they have to get to that point compared to somebody that's been doing it that doesn't necessarily get that notoriety, but you think is the much better wrestler per se?
Well, the best way to put the two together by what you're describing is you also take the other biggest wrestling superstar at that time when The Rock was there, and you take Stone Cold. Stone Cold literally worked his way up through WCW, which was a down south type organization, and then it just wasn't clicking and working, and he wasn't ready to go to, as they would say, up north yet. So he hit ECW, which was Philly, which is West Virginia, and PA is a good middle area, but most of the time PA is more of a flash. But
Right.
But somewhere in there, and that's where he really started to hit this attitude that later became Stone Cold, and he then hit and was big there. So he worked his way up. The Rock, obviously, he wasn't just like, hey, Dad, get me a job. Like, he worked his ass off. He wanted to he worked in football. Like, his accomplishments in
Right.
football. And pretty much he got contacted by the Bills and was like, hey, we want to sign you. And he pretty much came straight out and was like, nope, I don't want to do it. And then contacted his dad. His dad said, hey, I want to wrestle. So he started to train, and then he got a hold of a big head at WWE named Pat Patterson, and then got The Rock in there. And pretty much that was that era where if you're like the pretty boy like you used to be back in the day, it doesn't work anymore. Like pretty boy, we automatically love you. Like it wasn't that era, so it didn't really work at first. It wasn't until he was kind of kicked to the curb for being that way, and then brought back as this serious, shortened his name type cocky attitude.
How many transformations did Steve Austin go through? I mean, how many transformations has The Rock went through? Because a lot of people know The Rock as The Rock on his out days, on his last final days.
A lot of people know that his, like Tim was saying, his dad. A lot of people. His dad was a wrestler.
And
a lot of people don't know that. And his grandfather.
He's third generation. Peter Maivia with his grandpa, and Rocky Johnson was his father.
Now Steve Austin, on the other hand, they said, "Listen, we can build him back," and they gave him a new leg and a new arm and a new eye.
Hey, you know what? I bet the ladies on here listening are probably going to want to know: is Twister kind of included in this genre?
Twister? What are you talking about? Who said something about
wrestling? It's kind of like MMA.
Wrestling.
Oh, Twister, the game, Milton Bradley.
Yeah.
But how many times? I mean,
that's where they got their start, man. That's where The Rock got to start.
That's where The Rock got to start. He was doing Twister with a lot of women.
Red square shit.
So how many times though? I mean, how many transformations? I mean, when you see the promotion, because I would see the writers and things, they have a lot to say with all of this, and it depends who can do what they want to write. I mean, does something just catch sometimes just right off the bat, and other ones they have to kind of figure out? Because I've seen good guys, bad guys, good guys, and they go back and forth until they kind of figure out what it's going to be.
Well, it all kind of depends on, like you said, the promotion, and also it also depended on the time of the era that you watched wrestling. Like it was a huge deal when someone would be here in WWE, and then all of a sudden they come in WCW, like from up north to south, and it's like, oh wow. Most of the time, if they made a name for themselves up in one of the places, they would come in as that person. But up north was known for, okay, you go and make a name for yourself, and then you come in and we're going to name you something else.
Right.
But at the same, it all depends on the person and the contract. And
it's kind of it's a lot more complicated than what people think.
Yeah, each situation is its own situation.
Right.
It's not like here's a contract, here it is across the board for everybody. It all depends.
And now what's going to happen, and we're going to get into this right now, over on this coming Saturday. You have a lot of guys coming in, going to be down at the YWCA in Pleasant Valley, which is right next to Valley Worlds of Fun.
Yes.
Now, which is the same thing, because they're working through, and they're mostly independents, I would say. Are they?
Yeah. Oh, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're constantly trying to figure out on their own, and then, hopefully something will catch. But I mean, that's their love. That's what I like about stuff like this. It's their love because they don't have to do it, but they love to do it. And you get from doing it for years for yourself. I mean, it's not like you just go in there and don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So tell us about what's going to happen Saturday.
Saturday we're going to have an event called Real Shoot Wrestling. We were lucky enough to have a company down south, MVW, contact us and ask us to be a part of this. So that's what we're doing. We're going to have 5 matches, 3 title matches.
29th.
3 title matches. Yeah, this Saturday.
Yeah, it's.
Did I say June? Yeah,
yeah, July
June,
29th. It starts around 8 o'clock. $7 at the door. It's going to be filmed, so you'll be on DVDs and internet stuff and all that cool stuff. Offering out the invite to you guys to show up. We'll put you in special seats and make sure.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, make sure you get all the.
See, Chad, I'd like to get Chad in the ring.
The cool fun stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to snap Chad into a Slim Jim.
So at 8 o'clock in Fairmont. Now, how is it going to be purely by the door? I mean, as far as tickets go, I mean, is that?
Oh yeah, this event is going by the door. The future events will be advanced ticket sales, and then you'll be also, depending on how the advanced ticket sales go.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. What you guys are doing right now. I mean, you've been talking about wrestling, and you kind of get in like tonight. What's happening tonight?
Tonight, WWE Battleground is going on.
Yeah, and so that gives you a lot to try to figure out and try to see how everything is going to go and what you think, and then you could talk about it, next week or whatever. Put that Real Shoot Wrestling link up there.
Did.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job, Darren.
Yeah, I got the link to the Facebook.
Yeah. And then when you have this stuff going on, and so you're talking about it, but yet the whole promotional thing is going to bring a lot of stuff to the area. Hopefully, it will be.
Yeah.
So and you never know. When they used to have them every now and then, when they would have these big wrestling events, say at the Armory, and they would get like George the Animal Steel. I mean, names that might.
Oh, huge names. I mean, Andre the Giant has been there.
Yeah, stuff like that, and you're like, wow.
I remember him.
I liked Kabuki.
I remember him. Yeah.
Sure.
I liked Kabuki.
He was actually
The Great Kabuki, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
Kabuki.
I'm
Yeah.
still a Cactus Jack fan. I can't help it.
Oh, I mean, he was. See, my thing with Mick Foley is I loved Cactus Jack and everything about that character, but everything other than that character, is
Just don't like.
complete poop juice.
Yeah, because you know what? And I
Pour
think
me a tall glass.
And I think that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier, or at least my question was, is how many transformations they make. And Nick Foley, he's been through a lot of he's been through a lot of them.
Like I said, it all depends on how certain things hit. Hulk Hogan, I mean, he's went through. I mean, if you want to call that weird gimmick thing where he was wearing a mask and he was Mr. America or whatever. I mean, he went through, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and then he did the whole bad thing with the NWO, and then that's when he was Hollywood. So he probably went through 3 or 4.
Right.
Well, now,
At
like
most.
with Stone Cold Steve Austin, whenever he first got done with and won the King of the Ring, he was actually supposed to be a heel during that time. And the crowd actually, if I'm not mistaken, the crowd is the ones that actually got behind him and actually turned him around.
Yeah,
that wasn't part of no gimmick as far as they were concerned. That was what the crowd ended up doing with that character.
Oh, what's funny though is he was supposed to be a heel, and that's what he was doing, and he never stopped actually doing that. It's just people liked it, and got behind it, like he said. So it automatically that's the era where listen to your parents, do this, say your prayers, blah blah blah. People were like, we don't want to do that crap anymore. Like we just don't want to do it.
That was basically coming off the Hulk
We want to do
Hogan
the crop
thing.
chops and telling everybody suck it.
Right.
That's
That's what Robert Hamrick's on here. He saw just talking about how you'll see these guys on tour, and that's what's going to be neat because there's not really a lot of big wrestling tours these days. He saw Nick Foley when he was in Clarksburg.
At the Nathan Golf Armory.
Yeah.
I actually saw that one too. He was Terry Taylor. He was wrestling. He was the Red Rooster at the time. And I remember Mick Foley, he was real skinny at that time.
Yeah, yeah. And AJ likes Hacksaw. I forgot all about Hacksaw.
Jim Duggan.
Yeah, I forgot all about that name.
Oh, dude, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so once again, to reiterate, in Fairmont this Saturday. In Fairmont this Saturday at the YWCA, Real Shoot Wrestling presents. Go ahead, Tim. Wrestling.
Real Shoot Wrestling Live. We got like I said, 5 matches, 3 of them title matches. The MVW World Title is going to be on the line. The APWA Tri-State Title. This is actual, legit, as real as it gets. A judo champion.
Man, now that's cool.
Yes, he's a legit World Submission Wrestling champion.
Really?
Yes, this is like legit. We wrestled with him. We were friends with him from back in the day.
Yeah.
And then, life just kind of happened, and he went to. Last I knew, he went like overseas to teach English.
Really?
Yeah. And then the next thing I know, I see him come back around on Facebook, and I check him out, and he's got like these World Judo Championships.
That is
and
crazy,
stuff.
man.
He's legit, like he's actually a legit badass. So,
yeah, that'll
be cool. And then there'll be some other stars from the area like Johnny Blast and Smokey C and my one of my personal favorites. I haven't even met him. I haven't even saw him wrestle. But literally, I was just told his name, and that was it. But it's DEFCON 5, Scott Dotson.
Yeah,
and he's legit deaf.
Really? He's DEFCON 5, which is great because if he's deaf, he can't hear. Man, now that's going to be good.
We can sneak up behind that guy.
Yeah, and until you touch him, and he's going to whack you out. Now, speaking of...
supposedly when one sense is gone, the rest...
other one's going to... That's what...
Yeah.
Well,
the other step up.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You know, but speaking of judo, and this is going to be a great sort of transition, because we're all about Mayweather and McGregor. We're all about this because of right now it's the show. I mean, they're selling the show really hard. Yeah. And I love it
just like you would with wrestling.
Absolutely,
that's how it's literally being. Like, there's a promotional tour,
and
they are hot on that tour.
The crap talk, though.
Well, that's what because McGregor might not ever. He's not, for all intents and purposes, depending on how much of a purist you are. He's not even supposed. This is just an insult to what boxing even is, because he's never even boxed in a match.
Yeah, he's not a boxer.
But
hey, no. Anybody that knows how McGregor got started and come up, he is a striker. He knows how to box.
Well, no, I'm not saying he doesn't know how to box, but as far as being like in the
in the ring,
in a pro ring, right? Like say like a Mayweather,
he knows how to box.
So when it comes to this, he's saying, I'm an MMA guy, and that's where my home is at. Yeah. But now, I mean, there's so much money to be made there. I can make whatever I would make in my entire career in the MMA
one fight.
Off of this fight with Mayweather. So I'm going to play this because I have nothing to lose. And if one lucky punch, because McGregor has a punch,
you never know. Yeah.
One lucky punch, and if he can hit Mayweather, that's going to be the thing. If he can hit him, he might knock him out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a boxer's chance, obviously, but. He's not just a regular person getting in there and fighting him.
Yeah. He's a
it's
freak.
Conor McGregor. Yeah. So he has more.
He's a warrior
than a boxer's chance, but at the same time, I just feel like it's the best part of this fight is already happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Already happening.
See, and I would hate that. And this is what I hate, because how many times have you seen these big lead-ups to a fight, and it's almost like the Super Bowl, where they lead up to it, and the game's like, that was just a blowout, or it wasn't even fun to watch.
Yeah, or you paid $90 for a pay-per-view,
like
and it
all
lasts
the old
like
Tyson fights.
a minute. Yeah, 1 minute.
Tyson,
what?
Everybody
$90 for it? Yeah.
Now, it would to me, I would just love for them to slug it out with each other, and I just don't think that's going to happen, because Mayweather never fought that way anyway.
Also, but what's it for?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So to think that these guys are going to go out there to just slug away at each other just to be able to say, I won, I just don't see that happening.
It's nothing but money.
It's nothing but money, and that's why I say the best part of this whole situation is happening right now.
It's almost like watching an all-star game, because, like I say, a football all-star game or a hockey all-star game or a baseball. You know what? You're not going to go out there if it's a football all-star game. I mean, that's one of the biggest jokes on the planet, watching that thing, because nobody wants to go out there and get hurt playing an all-star game.
All of them are. Really, what's the point? Like, have an all-star weekend where they do the competitions, and, there's each sport has a different one, and whatever that is, they have those categories and whatever that is.
See what Carol said? It's all fun and games till someone loses part of an ear.
Too soon.
But the whole playing of game just makes no sense to me, except for just hey, let's make some money.
Right.
You get to see all these stars at one time.
See, and you know what? I could almost see though when it comes to like a McGregor Mayweather fight. I can almost see this, depending on how you look at if it's a conspiracy or whatnot, right? Is that I would hate to think, but I would be fine with it. I would be fine with this if it was somehow to the point of where it was so staged, but you didn't really know it was staged. So say McGregor comes in and knocks him out, and you're like, holy crap, I'm watching part 2. In part 2, anybody that didn't watch part 1
is a UFC fight.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you're watching this thing, because next time it's not going to be $100 million a piece, it's going to be $200 million a piece, because everybody's going to watch that.
I'm interested in the first one.
Man, I'm going to watch every single one of them. I'd watch every single one of them.
And this one's in the cage, and then Floyd wins.
Yeah, but after the first one.
And then the third one's at WrestleMania.
Listen, if they have nothing to lose.
There you go. There's all the money right there.
They can make so much money.
And it's not like, and like you said, there's no belt on the line, so it's not like anything's up, for legit. I mean, this could potentially be a Rocky movie. It could be a movie.
Oh, yeah.
But
which I'm sure there'll be a documentary with it, and there'll be an HBO special.
But I can't see in the reason
afterwards.
And
the books leading up to it.
And because
how I fought.
And listen, I don't know what this. Somebody see what the odds are for McGregor Mayweather. I think you almost have to bet $50 on Mayweather to even win 50 cents. I mean, it's ridiculous because nobody thinks McGregor's going to win. So the weird thing is for me is if the wise guys and how Vegas gets involved in things, you know, I don't know, man. I could almost see them playing with this to the point of the money's going to be made off the pay-per-view, not so much the betting, unless you're betting a lot of money on McGregor.
I mean, look at the organization. You're talking boxing, the biggest corrupt organization in the world.
Yeah, almost like horse racing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
now,
those are the two right there.
Now, I heard that, are they actually flying on the same plane together, or was that
same
a joke?
charter? Same charter, not the
okay.
same plane. They had the same company flew them to London.
All right, yeah, because that whole thing came out, and I was like, really? Like, we're really doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
all the money that's coming in, we
can
tried to
see-
save a couple
and this-
bucks on the
and-
same flight? What the hell?
And this is what I find funny about those two, because they are supposedly mortal enemies and they hate each other. But when they talk,
He said he couldn't read. I'd hate him too.
Listen, when Colin gets up there, or Connor gets up there and starts talking, you can see everybody in Mayweather's camp laughing because it's funny. You know, his
How do you
trainer,
not
everybody's
laugh at that?
laughing.
He's
know,
so mad, and the accent.
on the count of tree, on the count of tree. And he makes me laugh. And he's up there looking like Rumpelstiltskin or like Willy Wonka dressed in those suits, and I'm like, this is great.
A suit with the pinstripes that said "F you" all down.
Yeah.
That was
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they
He
actually
automatically
put the
won right
T-shirt
there.
out there on Facebook too. You can buy the T-shirt with his pinstripe.
How smart is that?
Oh my God, they're going to make money off it.
Money.
But you know,
Shut up and take my
if you ever
money.
see when they get face to face, what's really cool about Connor is he's almost like one of these guys you see on the street that are like weigh like 50 pounds, but they think they're on steroids. And he's got his arms back and his chest out like it's so European. It's like come on, you know, he's like doing this kind of stuff. And listen, it's great. I love it's the show, man. It is the show, and I hope the match, is as good as the show, but it probably won't be.
Mike Husted said the odds are down to anywhere between -600 to -800, meaning that you'll have to bet $600 to $800 to win one.
That's terrible.
100.
Because then that's on Mayweather. So see, everybody, if everybody bets on McGregor, see, I don't know how that's going to work. If you bet on McGregor, then McGregor's definitely not going to win because the odds are going to be so far.
I'm not sure
McGregor.
how that odd stuff works when you're talking like
Because
that.
if you can't bet any money on Mayweather because he's a sure win. He's a sure win. You're not going to win anything.
Is it reversed for McGregor? Like, can you vote or bet just a little bit and end up with a ton of money?
Shit, yeah.
I'll find out because I got $1,000 on McGregor.
It would be worth it. You know what? It would be worth it because you could walk away with $10,000.
Right here on let's see, Odds Shark, it says Mayweather -600 odds to win, favored 400 for McGregor. By knockout, 150 for Mayweather, 500 McGregor. By decision, positive 200 for Mayweather, positive 1,000 for McGregor.
McGregor would never go a distance. He'd never be able to go the distance. He's not even designed to do that.
Houston does want to know why did the suit have the FU written all up and down it if his opponent can't read?
Good point. Now,
just for
That's
us.
so his camp could
Just
tell him.
for us.
what was the comment
About
you just...
the McGregor lasting the
yeah,
entire
okay.
fight.
All right, here's my
I
concept
disagree
here.
with that.
Thank you. All right.
I
And
do.
it is probably the same thing. All right, you got to think. Mayweather, the stamina that he has is crazy, but you can't discredit McGregor's because his cardio is a whole other level
That's
than Mayweather's
full
is
body
because
cardio.
Right.
exactly because he's getting tackled, having to get back up. When he's down there, he's having to get somebody off of him and get himself up.
Pushing
The
complete body
the
weight off of
pushing,
him.
the pulling, it's a whole body type of thing. So the cardio, I don't really know if that will be an issue.
Well, see, now here's my thing.
Or it could even
the
be
different
McGregor's
weight in
favor.
the different weight in gloves, maybe, but at the same time, obviously he's smart enough to be training with those.
See now, see, I'm
McGregor is a tactician.
I'm looking
I
at
promise you.
I'm looking at it a different way. I'm looking at McGregor is used to having 4 rounds to knock somebody out, So he's used to going
5 3-minute rounds.
Okay, 5, whatever, 4 or 5. So
Something
anyway,
like that.
he's used to going full blast because he doesn't have to calm himself and kind of if you're going to drink beer all day, if you need to pace yourself. Well, he only has to pace himself for 5 rounds. He doesn't have to pace himself 8 for 12.
Yeah.
So if he's going out in his brain, he's trying to hold back, but he can't hold back. Then when it comes to 8, 9, he's done wore himself out from throwing punches. Even though now he's used to in those first 5 rounds getting knocked around, pulling himself back up.
But you got to look at it also as he's going those 5 rounds full blast, where Mayweather probably isn't. He's used to dancing around and not somebody just going full force for 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah,
Well,
and here's another thing to think
So
about.
it's kind
Think
of
about the training between these two camps. Mayweather probably thinks that if this is a legit fight, Mayweather probably thinks that McGregor's a joke. And you know what I mean? So is Mayweather going to be giving it everything he's got, to go the distance because he's thinking that, this McGregor guy's going to go down in round 1?
It's part of the show to begin with, but Mayweather himself said during the very first press conference during the tour, he said, I'm not as good as I once used to be. I don't train as hard as I once used to. He said, because I have other businesses to run, like my gentlemen's clubs. I do that. And he says, but I do train. I will train as much as I'm going to.
Right.
He said, but I have other businesses to do. I make money.
Well,
He's
you
just
know
setting
what?
himself up for
Yes,
excuses.
Darren is
Yeah,
there.
he
You
is.
can't see him, but he's there. Go ahead and write that comment. Darren is there.
Mike Husted says that McGregor has no chance. Boxing's a hard sport, and he will not be able to beat Mayweather at boxing. Well, didn't that Ronda Rousey? Who did Ronda Rousey fight that one time?
Now, one
Holly
second.
Holmes.
Holly
Holly
Holmes
Holm.
in a boxing match, and who won? Holly Holmes, because Ronda Rousey's not a boxer. So hopefully, if you look at that, in
Yeah, but that doesn't.
McGregor,
Yeah, and what happened the very next fight?
what happened?
She got kicked in the face. She lost the belt.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That belt played hot potato as soon as Ronda lost
Mama
it for a minute.
Right, yeah. So
Which
she
goes
got
back to the point of why McGregor has a chance, because all you need is that one shot.
Yep.
And if he can land on Mayweather, Mayweather's going to bounce. Hey, listen, I was watching some slow-mo. The guy's quick. And the way he can see
bob
punches
and weave. And,
I'm talking a half an inch, and he's so quick on the comeback. I think they said his strike is something like a viper strike. And he's that quick to be able to come up and hit somebody. And, he doesn't have to. How many knockouts has Mayweather even had? Has he even knocked anybody out?
Yes.
Has he? I mean, it's
yeah,
probably,
but it's not like what
It's
you
not,
would think.
it's
after
not an
like
awesome
Tyson.
number.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Considering he's won 49 fights.
because he's used most of the time I've ever watched the fight. It seems like it goes the entire distance, and he wins on points.
But like you said, Conor goes out there and he's going 100%, and that's in UFC.
He's looking to take your head off.
Yes, because there's an ultimate goal in that situation. There's no real ultimate goal in this situation other than let's make a buck.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he may not go out there guns a-blazing trying to knock his face off because he's also going to know that Floyd's going to run.
Yeah.
Floyd ran in boxing. He's sure as hell going to run from him.
And if you if you
Well,
think,
I personally think that McGregor's out there. He's going to try to take his head off.
I think he's smart enough to pick and choose
Yes.
instead of going after him and getting himself wore out. Like
I
you said,
think
to where he
He's-
can
Like I
last.
said, he's a tactician.
I think if he goes
But
out there,
he's going to wait. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to try to take his head off.
well,
when he
see,
has
I
some
think for
shots.
McGregor, it's going to be hard to hold back.
I also think there's
Yeah,
going to be a
his ego
chance.
is gonna be
there's
the
going to
one
be a
that gets in
chance
his
where
way.
Connor grabs him and tackles him.
See, I would love to see that too.
Yeah, it's just going to be.
He said he-
And then the
It's
whole match gets
disqualified.
thrown out, and then they have to have another one.
Yeah, then they can do,
see,
then
there
they
you
can do this
go.
whole thing all over again,
They're like
man.
kick
Here
him in
we
the
go.
nads or something.
That's not going to happen because it'll cost Conor McGregor too much money.
Will he get charged for that?
Yep.
Mayweather wins by knockout 26. He's 53%. So now, is there a difference between a knockout and a technical knockout? TKO and a KO? Is there a difference? Because I don't know.
KO is a one punch. That TKO is just like a.
When
They
you're
just
just
lay
leaving
Yeah,
him
if you
down.
count
when
it,
the
you
ref-
count
the
it
ref
out
calls it,
as a
right?
KO.
TKO is called because of a fight or called because of a cut
Okay.
or something like that.
Well, by knockout, he's got 26.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and
He
everybody.
should have lost his last fight.
I hope. I would love to see Conor
Yeah.
win this thing. I would
Yeah.
love to see it just because he's such the big underdog. You know what I mean? Just to mix
Yeah.
things up a little
Yeah.
bit. I would love to see that.
But what's funny though is like if you ever like people like him because he's good and that he's cocky. So obviously anybody out there like that, people get behind him. But for the most part, I didn't really know a lot of people that really like this guy But if you ever wanted to make a guy a babyface, you put him up against Mayweather, and everybody. It's like everybody is. They think about it as common sense and go, well, Floyd's going to win. Floyd's going to win. But man, I want Conor. I want Conor just catch him. Knock him on his ass.
Yeah.
Like that's all I keep hearing. It's just like, yeah, Floyd's going to win, but oh man, I just
Wouldn't it be
Conor
great?
this
That's
cold
what I'm
cock.
saying. I don't care about this whole thing. I just want to see McGregor just beat his eyes shut. I don't care if it's one round.
It'd be
or
nice
4.
to see, just to get him to shut up.
I
Yeah,
just want to see
because
him beat his
you know,
face.
a lot of these videos you've been seeing of McGregor just really shit talking, but Mayweather's been shit talking for freaking 20 years.
But you know what though? You know, as much as Mayweather likes to talk,
He
is no Conor McGregor.
No.
He is McGregor. Now that guy, he knows how to talk his business right there. He
takes it
knows
to a
how to
whole
talk.
nother
Yes,
level.
he does.
How
He's a showman.
How about when Floyd told the guy, he's like, get my backpack. And then he brings the backpack over, and then Conor goes, yeah, get his backpack, bitch.
The whole thing,
And
I
the
was
guy,
laughing.
and the guy looks at him, and he smiles awkwardly, like, man, he just called me out in front of all these millions of people.
And then when he was up there, Mayweather was drinking his coffee. He's like, two sugars or something. He was just making fun of that guy as much as he could.
Yeah. Well, there was at one point where McGregor was doing his spiel, or McGregor was doing a spiel. Mayweather was sitting there, and he walked up behind him and kind of rubbed him on the top of the head. Do you remember that?
Oh, that was in
Oh,
London. Yeah,
I thought there was going to be a fight after that.
that Toronto, the one that they had, the very first one with the Showtime, when they with the mics and all. To me, that was very lame. I was expecting what happened in Toronto, which was
Well, I
fantastic.
think it was like a build kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. There was a great part. Go ahead.
But I want to know. I wanted to see what happened with the whole who picked up the money that was getting thrown around.
You know what?
I want to know.
Was
Was it literally okay, I'm going to throw all this money and I'm literally not going to care, or it's just all right, cameras off. Hey, go pick that.
yeah,
go
get
pick that up.
Yeah, that's my money.
Hey, don't touch that. Conor, put it back.
That's hilarious.
I just want to know. And then the fact that Conor made fun of it and was just like, that's
Oh,
only
yeah.
5,000.
Oh, he just called him out.
It was just, it's just always.
Well, that one time when McGregor grabbed that backpack, he said when Mayweather took that Irish flag and wrapped it around himself.
Yeah.
And then McGregor took that backpack and he told him, he said, well, you ain't getting this back, bitch. And then Mayweather took the Irish flag back over and gave it to McGregor. McGregor wadded it up and threw it back at him. He said basically I don't want it now that you touched it.
Let's see here. Now you have to. First of all, I want to tell you this. You're going to get a whiff of this, and there's a lot of language in it. I'm going to warn you. So that's Mayweather talking.
Yeah, right after the language.
I know.
But there's one line in here that I thought was outstanding when he says that you can't. The fans won't fight for you.
Yeah, and they said, I'm the motherfucker that can't read. Bitch, I do numbers. I make money.
Let's see. It
You
might
know
be.
my middle name, bitch. You owe money.
You owe money.
P-Dot, let me see the bag.
Right here it comes when he calls him out.
Let me see the bag.
This is. But you know what? Mayweather is. He doesn't seem. He's not that.
Yeah, he was right.
He's talked a lot of junk,
The bag got books.
but
We're
he's.
going to show you what the books look like.
But you know the thing is, he's not that.
If you
He's not
believe in
that
yourself,
quick.
No.
It's like
you
he.
say you believe in yourself. Bitch, your whole fight check, you bitch. No fucking problem. Send the contract, kid. It's done.
Let's see here real quick. We'll just watch this. We could do this all night. But there's one. There's one.
It literally could. It'd be great.
Right here it is. Right here it is. Right here. This is great. Now watch it. This is my favorite line of the entire thing. Right off the bat, Mayweather starts. Listen to this.
The fucking fans can't fight for you.
Shut your fucking mouth.
That's my favorite line.
That right there is.
And you
That
know
is
what?
great.
He just keeps walking. What's
That
he
is
gonna
correct. Anyway, let's get back to the whole thing. So you're thinking Mayweather then?
My prediction is McGregor. Tim.
McGregor.
It's gonna be. I don't like. It has to be Mayweather, just for the fact that he's just gonna run and he can't tackle him.
Yeah, it's going to be impossible.
Chad.
But holy crap!
My
I would
money's
like to
already
knock
on
him out.
McGregor.
McGregor. Chuck. Or not you, Chuck. You hush up for a minute.
Okay.
Jimmy. Are you thinking about it, buddy?
I don't know. I'd like to see McGregor win.
Bruce?
Well, I just like to see whichever wins, I guess. I mean,
That's not an
I'd just
answer,
like to see
Bruce.
whichever wins.
Good answer.
That's not an
as long
answer.
as it's a
Darren Hardman?
McGregor.
Was that even have to be asked?
You know that.
Now, once again, though, the Real Shoot Wrestling with Tim Cross, we're going to have a link up there, and you have the wrestling event happening this Saturday at the YWCA on Pleasant Valley Road, right next to Valley Worlds of Fun. 8 o'clock are the doors are going to be open. $7 at the door to actually get in there, which is going to be fantastic. That's going to be great, and keep us up to date on that because you're going to do a lot. Follow them on Facebook because you're going to see a lot of stuff locally.
I can't say that the next event will be August 19th there too.
Oh, absolutely. Then maybe by that time you'll have what we were talking about with the video and live streaming.
Oh,
You'll have all that worked out. Mm-hmm. All right, now once again we have the Shell Strong Life or Life Ride or Shell. I don't even. I have all these different.
The Shell Strong Ride.
Shell Strong Ride coming up. Now, one thing we want to mention about this is going on with the Legion Riders, right, Darren?
Yes, sir. The American Legion Riders Post 31 in Shinston.
And then go ahead and give us some details here real quick.
Okay, it's also July 29th. Registration is from 10 to noon. The last bike is out at noon. Registration is $20 per rider, $10 per passenger. All the proceeds go for the care for Michelle James. She is a Lincoln High student, avid dancer at Instep School of Dance. She was recently diagnosed with leukemia. The ride starts at Post 31 in Shinston. The second stop has an optional $15 chicken dinner. Now, that chicken dinner, when you pay that $15, it'll actually go towards that post. Like I said, it is an optional dinner if you want to go. And the after party is at Parker's on 4th Street in downtown Clarksburg. And we've got a personal message from Parker Fulton here. He's going to have a band called the Fifth Gear playing that evening also. Donation jar is already set up at the restaurant, has been for about 4 weeks now. And they're looking to try to get between 100 and 200 riders. This would also go on during the Spirit Week, Michelle, from Monday, July 10th through the 15th. Are we past that? What is today?
23rd.
23rd. Well, we're already past that. So
I don't even know dates anymore. Dates and times I don't even pay attention to anymore. I'm retired from everything, it seems like.
That's what happens when we don't read, right?
That's exactly what happens.
But, just stop by Parker Fulton's over there on 4th Street and make a donation to the jar and everything. All those proceeds are going to go for this ride as well.
Absolutely.
Fifth Gear, actually, a friend of mine plays guitar for them.
No kidding.
Yeah,
what a small world that is,
good.
then.
They're really good.
Oh, wow.
So go out on your bikes, ride for the Shell Strong Ride.
Get yourself a chicken dinner.
Get yourself a chicken dinner while you're out riding and everything.
Chicken dinner.
Then make your way from Clarksburg over to Pleasant Valley.
1206 Pleasant Valley Road.
Actually, we're going to go see the wrestling with Real Shoot Wrestling
and then
first.
you can go to Obsidians right after that.
Then you turn around and go to 1206 Pleasant Valley Road to go to Obsidians to be able to wet your whistle for the night and finish the weekend off strong.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
That's the
Let me
best
tell you,
part,
next Saturday is going to be crazy, actually.
You're crazy, man.
We're all crazy. I don't know karate, but I do know crazy. And do you know what? Speaking, this might be it could very well be our last show in this particular room.
Oh, God, I hate change.
Oh,
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for coming in.
I'll make the moment special a little bit, bro.
Todd hates change. He says that, but at the same time, we still don't know why he had a sex change. So we don't know that.
Because I like to pee sitting down.
Well, you did that anyway.
Well, I need an extra place to put my wallet.
Well, that was the big change.
Because he wants 2 entry points instead of 1.
Yeah. Oh, no, you mean 3. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Darren Harmon, Chad Puccio, Tim Cross from Real Shoot Wrestling, Bruce Takahashi, Jimmy Wiz, Todd, Captain Earl Beck, Michelle, and Mark Coffey out in the green room. We've had a great time. We're not going to be here next week, but perhaps the next week we will be. The big move happening, and that's going to take priority. Once again, Real Shoot Wrestling going to have a big event on July 29th.
July 29th.
You did it again.
I first said June, then I went to August and all this other nonsense. But anyway, check that out. We're going to put the links on the page and everything else. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have a good weekend. Have a good couple weeks. Be safe, be careful. And we are out. Later on.
Well, I may be just common people, but I'm your brother. strike out to try to hurt me. It's a hurting you. Lord have mercy. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, baby. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Now there are people on the reservations, and they're out in the ghetto.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
And brother, there, before the grace of God, I go you and I. Now if I only had the wings of a little angel, don't you know I'd fly to the top of a mountain, and then I'd cry, 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 walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Dun, 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 dun. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
Just walk a mile in my shoes.
Quit playing with your dinghy.
Yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Dude, listen.
Just walk a mile
Yeah,
in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Put two of them up your ass.
Criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes.
Do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm funny?
Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize.
Did your parents have any children that lived? Were you born a fat, slimy scumbag, you piece of shit? Or did you have to work on it?
Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before.
Bullshit, it looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as the brown stain on the mattress. I think you've been cheated.